What's going on, guys? My name's Tom from Dreadlabs, and today I'm going to show you how to do pixelated logos and illustrations in Photoshop.
Dreadlabs.
So I put together some quick logos in Illustrator for this tutorial. The project file, as always, will be available for everyone on Patreon. I found out about this style on some rave-like posters. I'll link them in the description. I think what's important for this style is that you have some graphics that are really curved instead of really flat. So as you can see right here, there's a lot of curves and going on in these logos instead of like just only harsh straight up lines. This is important because then it's really going to show off that blocky feel that you're going to achieve with this effect. So let's just begin with the first logo here. What you want to do, if you haven't already, is turn this into a smart object, which you can do by right click here and then convert to smart object. I already did this, so I don't need to do this. Then what you want to do is you want to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and blur it up until I would say right about here. And then you go to filter again, to pixelate, and then to mosaic. And as you can see right now, is the filter is already starting to look pixelated. Here you can decide on how big you want the blocks to be. Yeah, as you go bigger, the quality obviously will lower. So I think I'm gonna do about 10 square right now. Yeah, that seems about right. So when this effect truly starts, so what you have right now is some blocks are actually starting to fade out and have less of an opacity, but we don't want that. We just want the blocks to either be white or black. So we'll put a threshold adjustment layer on it, which you can find under adjustments and then threshold. And for this, I'm gonna make it a little bit higher. And as I'm now, this is a time for you to revise on the first few actions on Photoshop. For example, you can lower the Gaussian blur. So the effect will be a bit less drastic. This goes as well for the mosaic. If you turn it to 2, the pixels will just be a lot smaller, so you'll keep your details in there basically. So let's just do these for the next logos, and then we're gonna go to the next step. Something to keep in mind, if you also want to distort the logo a bit more, you can also apply a displacement map first to your logo. The displacement map I'm going to use right now is one that I got from Black Market. You can find them in the Trash Machine package that I bought on their website. And as you can see, the logo is already pretty distorted right now. And now I'm going to apply a blur on it, but I'm not going to make the blur too harsh. And then obviously the pixelated filter here. And as you can see, the imperfections on the distortion are still visible on here. And now let us move on to the last one. On the last one, we can also apply another distortion effect if you don't have any displacement maps made. I will be providing a tutorial in the future on how to do displacement maps, but for now we can also apply another distortion filter to simulate another effect. So we'll go to filter, distortion, and then to wave. We'll leave the number of generators as it is, the wavelength as well, and then we put the amplitude from 1 to 5, and we'll put the vertical scale down to 1%, which gives us this small wavy effect. Then we're also going to apply our blur, put it maybe a bit higher this time, and then we'll add us the last pixelating filter, like this. So we have our logos here right now, but the problem is that our threshold filter is not usable as a clipping mask, which means if we clip this on our first logo, all logos will just look blurred and not pixelated anymore. But to prevent this problem from happening is we can press Command Option Shift E, which will make a new layer based on all the layers down below. So now we have one layer with all the logos here. And because of the threshold filter, this layer is either all white or all black. There's no color in between. There's no blur, there's no fade anywhere here. So what we can do is we're going to go to Select, Color Range, and then click the white here. Put the fuzziness all the way to 200, and then click OK. And if we delete that, then we're only left with all the black parts of our logos. Keep in mind, this is a rasterized version of the logo right now. So I recommend making a smart object out of your logo just to be sure that you can resize it a bit better without losing any other quality. So I'm going to select this logo here, press Command X to cut it out, and then go to Edit, Paste Special, Paste in Place. And now we have a separate layer of our logo at the top. Let's just call that logo 1. Go to right click, convert to smart object, and now we can resize it to however big we want without losing that crispy edge on the back here. Let's just take this logo as an example for the rest of this tutorial now. And let's just center it right now. So you want to apply some textures to this. I would recommend doing some photocopy textures. You can find those on Texture Fabric. I'll put a link in the description so you can check them out. Okay, now we have one of our textures applied to this file. And I'm going to put the blend mode to, let's say, subtract here. And then we can put a color at the bottom. Let's say purple. And now we want to blend our logo in with the texture at the bottom. So we're going to put our logo on top here. Add a really small box blur so we don't lose too much of the hard edge that we just made. Then we're going to add a inner glow. We're going to reset this to the default so we can all get, start out with the same settings. Put it to center. Make the size a bit bigger. We're going to put the opacity at 11% so you almost don't even see the glow, which is what we want. And then we're going to right click and convert this to a smart object again. And now we're going to double click and go to the underlying layer here, hold Alt or Option on the right part of the slider and drag it up. And as you can see, at some point the layer starts to blend in a bit better with the bottom texture here. Which makes it look a bit more realistic in my opinion. So another thing that we can do right now is distort it again with our displacement maps that we got from Black Market. And then center it again in our project. Which gives it these crispy edges in here, as you can see. Well, this was basically the tutorial. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. This was kind of a short one, but I got this request from someone in my Instagram comments, so I thought I'd figure it out and squeeze it in our Dreadlabs schedule. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, the project file will be available for everyone who would support me on Patreon. As well as a 15% discount in the Dreadlabs shop. Yeah, I hope you learned something today and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.